We are, almost right on time today. Only 3 minutes overdue. Тільки 3 хвилини перетримали. Майже вчасно. So guys, today I'm here with Mongol. It's his call sign. Yes, it's not his name. His name is Alexander. Alexander is from Ahtyrka, Sumy Oblast, and I'm also with Anastasia. Hi guys.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Anastasia, remind me please, where are you from?
I'm from Kyiv. I was born in Kyiv. I have lived all my life in Kyiv, and happy about this fact.
About the fact that you're from Kyiv?
Yes.
So, I want to remind everyone that Anastasia is involved into European integration of Ukraine. So you got it, right? No translation needed. No translation. No need. Okay, that's good. So guys, we're going to be translating some today because Alexander is not talking English, but he understands. Some of it, time to time, he says. Okay, but let's see who we have there in the chat. By the way, there's going to be a good idea if you guys open the stream on your phones and also talk to the chat, because I will be missing some of the messages. So it should be my channel. And yeah, here it is. We're live. Just we need to make it 0 volume. Hi Joseph Johnson, hello Ellen Archer, hello Super Susie, Lynn S, you know they exist, Miriam, who else do we have there, just Jimmy, Anastasia, hello, we see you in the chat too, okay, hi Rick.
Hi, just Jimmy.
Yeah, just Jimmy. Hi Rick, Anastasia and Mongol, good to see you all. That's from just Jimmy. Rick, I see that you finally mastered having 3 icons on screen. Yeah, it worked today somehow. Вчора був баг, вообще елементи ці не відображалися. І я не міг, там 10 спроб було, і то один відображається, то інший ні. Дуже забагована програма така. So, guys, hi Tune. How you doing? Guys, I remind you that Tune is from Norway. And yeah. Here's A. Hello, A. Who are you? By the way, do you...
Good hearts.
Yeah?
Good hearts.
Good hearts. The yellow and blue heart. Okay, guys, I'm not in the best shape today, to be honest. I'm tired after streaming for 3 days in a row. So, not gonna be the best host. I'm sorry for that. Не найкращим сьогодні буду ведучим, чесно кажучи. But... What? I'm gonna try to do my best, but I'm asking you for your help. Ask questions. Mongol has a lot to share. We were helping him and his guys since the end of 2023. I think the first help was NAFO truck for him, Wolf, and other guys from Kraken. So that NAFO truck is still alive. I was talking.
I see this car. Нещодавно.
Recently, I saw this car recently. Awesome. So we're also gonna have some English practice today with Mongol.
And someone in the chat said that they are happy that they're going to practice in Ukrainian today. So
awesome. That's really good. So you can also speak Ukrainian. That's gonna be a good practice for rollers. And what? You know what I put on the raffle this week? Raffle розіграш. So I actually thought that since I have you on the stream, it's going to be a good idea. And also we helped Wolf, not yesterday, 2 days ago. We closed 2 small fundraisers for him and his guys. And I decided to put the Kraken patch on the raffle this week. And this one has a pretty interesting story. So guys, this Kraken patch, I remind you, is on the raffle this week. And this one, I auctioned it back in 2024, probably in the beginning of the year. Yeah, it was like February or something. I auctioned it and it went for $660 to Jason Slobodyan. He won it on the auction. Переклад потрібен?
Yes.
Коротше, я його виставив на аукціон на початку 24-го року, і він пішов за $660 Джейсоном, він зі Сполучених Штатів. Я йому відправив, а він, чи то на початку цього року, чи то в кінці минулого, приїхав сюди в Україну, привіз мені, його віддав в руки і сказав, що типу, він йому не потрібен, він хоче, щоб він ще грошей приніс українському війську. Yeah, so Jason brought it back to Ukraine. Jason won this one for $660 back in the beginning of 2024, and about already half a year ago, я думаю, що десь вже півроку тому він мені його привіз, he brought it back to Ukraine. He gave it to me, like basically passed it to my hands, and he told me that he wants this patch to, well, raise more funds for Ukraine. He doesn't need it. So thank you, Jason, for giving it back to the raffle this time. So we're raffling it this week, and you guys can buy tickets for $10 for one ticket, and you can buy them. Oh my god, you can buy as many of them as you want. Можуть купляти так багато квиточків, як хочуть. $10. So please send your donations. Let's raise maybe $500 today. What do you think? I think it's totally doable. On Tuesday, we raised $1,776. Do you need the translation? No need for translation. Yeah, you can see the approval on Mongol's face. So, I think what is going to be awesome to begin with is maybe to remind rollers and tell some of them how did your service begin? How did you join the army? Because I was telling them your story from your words. Я вже розказував твою історію з твоїх слів, але було б ще класно це почути від тебе безпосередньо.
Саме історію, як чим я зараз займаюсь, чи...
Ні, давай як ти, взагалі, як в тебе почалась війна, в якому році, коли ти вперше доєднався до війська і як це сталося?
У 15-му, так.
Дякую.
У 15-му році я доєднався до війська, відсвяткував свій день народження тет-а-тет з дружиною, поставив її перед фактом, що скільки можна тягнути. Пішов я воювати, та й на наступний день пішов у воєнкомат.
У 15-му, так?
У 15-му році це було. У мене я довго, скажімо так, відкладав це, але не мій кум майбутній вже тоді пішов у 14-му. Багато друзів вже на той момент пішли. Не міг просто дома сидіти. Потрібно було щось робити і не хотів чекати, як дехто каже, ось коли прийдуть до мене в місто, тоді візьмусь за зброю. На мій погляд, це не є правда, це просто люди себе так, як це сказати, заспокоюють себе.
Або прокрастинують.
Я розумію, що я боюся, але не хочу всім таким показатися, і я скажу таку причину. Я так зробити не зміг, пішов, потрапив у...
А давай перекладу цю частину, бо вже багатенько. So guys, I'm gonna translate what Mongol just said. It was back in 2015 when he, on his birthday, he basically celebrated that birthday together with his wife alone, and he told her that he is ready and he cannot wait anymore to go and defend our country. So he says that, his friends, his kum, як англійською? Okay.
Це складно перекласти.
Yeah, so I guess his close friend, let's call him this way.
Godfather of his children.
Exactly, godfather of his children, child of his child. He already joined the army, and he said that that's it. He needs to go, and next day he went to the draft board, to the recruitment center. Yeah, I was thinking about the abbreviation of TCK first, and then I thought, okay, whatever. By the way, TCK was not there yet. Ще тоді не було TCK. Військкомат. Yeah, so basically he
Yeah,
went there
sorry.
and he got into... І ти попав куди?
У 58-му бригаду, ну через навчальний центр, звісно, в Десні потрапив в 58-му бригаду. Вона щойно була сформована, точніше, її повернули до життя. Колись вона була там якоюсь там дорожньо-будівельною, але тоді її створили як мотопіхотну бригаду. І я потрапив у розвідроту. Був розвідувальником. Ну, в мене і професію мені у військкоматі поставили розвідник там. По цьому закінчив навчання. Ну і таким чином рік я пробув в 58-й бригаді.
Я думаю, вже можна
Так.
перекласти. Давай.
Можна.
Потім продовжиш. So guys, I'm gonna translate it once again. So he got into 58th Brigade, into the reconnaissance Rota company, into reconnaissance company, and basically, is that it? Я все переклав? Так швидко? Ну, я не переклав про ці от перетворення, різні бригади. The brigade was newly formed. So 58th brigade, what? Revived. Yes, it was revived. Revived as a motorized infantry brigade, basically. Yep. So we continue. But before we continue, maybe we take a look into the chat. Maybe we already have some questions. Let's see. Mostly rollers are greeting each other. The one time I'm late, you start bang on time, Robert Jonesar says.
Almost.
Каже, що єдиний раз, коли я запізнився, ви це майже вчасно почали. Ну, точніше, не майже, а вчасно він сказав. Це Анастасія поправила, що майже вчасно. Okay, then that's... I'm afraid to join the army, Donna says. And she says I'm a coward, just like me, Donna. That's totally fine. Let's just be, how do you call that? Useful for our country. We can still be useful. Is the okay. These are the trolls.
Yeah.
That's funny. Thank you, Andres. I read messages not out loud first next time, and then I do it. Yeah, my moderators remind me to not do it like right out loud. But we still have no questions, so we let Mongol share his story further. Продовжуй, будь ласка.
В общем, тоді я перевівся до Охтирської бригади, до себе додому поближче.
Це в якому? 15?
Це уже в 16-му.
Ага, в 16-му.
Перевівся, я вже ось мій дембель, 22 березня, на мій день народження дембель, і мене...
Це був контракт?
Ні, це була мобілізація, але не до кінця особливого періоду, це була 4-та волна мобілізації, а саме на 1 рік. І тому мені, скажімо так, пощастило більше, ніж попереднім волнам цієї мобілізації. І я перевівся в 91-й рік, підписав на півроку контракт, щоб трошечки привести до ладу свої домашні діла. Бо потрібна робота, потрібен заробіток, коли я уйду з війська. Той заробіток і під час війська, звісно, нужен був бути, бо там так платили, що мама родна. І все, ще півроку відслужив та і звільнився. Звільнився, займався різними справами. Я думаю, що це не потрібно уточнювати, бо я зараз буду розмовляти тут 1,5 години.
Ну так.
І, значить,
питання є, до речі.
Так, і так до 22-го року, 21-му я перевіз родину, ми переїхали в Київ жити. Тільки, як то кажуть, тільки жити почали заново. І почалась війна. Повномасштабна, так.
Давай тоді прикладу цю частину. So basically Mongol served for a year from 2015 to 2016 because back in the days there was a conscription, mobilization as we call it here, that lasted only a year. It was a 4th wave of mobilization back in 2014-2015. And basically his term ended. Then he transferred to Sumy military unit, served for half a year more, and then he left the army, resigned from the army. And he did what? He started doing many things. He says if I start talking about where I worked before the full-scale invasion. I'm gonna be talking for like half an hour here. But he did what? He then in 20... В якому році? 21-му переїхав, да? In 2021 he moved to Kyiv, started his life anew, and it just started again. I mean, the new wave of war, and this was a full-scale war this time. So we already have a question, Mongol. First one was from Brian R. He asks next. Please ask Mongol how is the morale in his unit and are they optimistic for the future? Як зараз з моральним духом у вас?
Моральним духом?
Да, в твоєму підрозділі зараз. І друге частина питання. Чи ви оптимістично налаштовані щодо майбутнього?
Оптимістично. До майбутнього, на останнє питання. Оптимістично максимально. Адже якщо ми зараз будемо навіть більше прислуховуватися до того негативу, який є в нашій країні, а його вище криші, то тоді всі руки опустять і наша нація так чи інакше може зникнути. Потрібно позитивно дивитися на це, з силою дивитися на це. І відчувати себе сильним. Сильнішим за тих, хто на нас нападає. А ми сильніші. Бо якби ми були не сильніші, ми б стільки не протрималися.
Так, це правда.
Ми сильніші.
Їхня армія набагато більша, і технологічніша.
І технологічніша. Але тримаємося, у когось моральний дух менший, у когось більший. У тих, хто йде туди за своїм бажанням, звісно, він більший. І той моральний дух тримається довше. Тих, кого мобілізують через силу, як кажуть, нравиться мені ця фраза, ті, хто не народились для війни, наче всі, хто зараз там народилися, да? У тих моральний дух, звісно, менше. Вони більш бояться загинути, бояться.
У вас є такі підрозділи, мобілізовані?
Звісно. Саме де зараз, в 66-й бригаді, таких багато.
Добре. Давай я перекладу цю частину, а потім ти тоді ще... хоча ти на обидві частини питання відповів,
Ще
так?
було питання про походження call sign.
Але ми не дійшли до того, треба перекласти оце. Так, але переклад, воно трошки довше. So guys, I'm gonna translate what Mongol said. He said that they are very optimistic and they need to be strong. They need to be strong because objectively our army is stronger. We are already stronger because if we were not, we would not withstand the Russian pressure for 3.5 years. And the Russians have much bigger army. Their army has more advanced or had more advanced technology at the time. Right now, I think we are matching, but still they have more weapons, they have more manpower. And he says the morale in the unit is different because those guys who joined the army voluntarily, they are mostly motivated, super motivated, 100% motivated. But those who were mobilized, of course, they are afraid a bit more. They're afraid, some of them afraid of the explosions, some of the bullets, but still they keep serving all together and defending Ukraine. So, second question was from Jubra, and Anastasia directed that one. How did he get the nickname Mongol? Як ти отримав позивний Монгол? Це ж доволі просто.
Здебільшого так. Через мій розріз очей мене з дитинства називали різними національностями. Японець, китаєць, казах, киргиз, кореєць. Коротше, усі, які мають отакий розріз голос. Мене всім називали, коли я в школі був. Але ніколи не називали монголом. Жодного разу. Жодного. І ось ми сидимо на позиціях, 15-й рік, це під Авдіївкою було. Сидимо, і ми ж з хлопцями, ну давайте ж уже ж нарешті виберемо собі позивні. Сидимо домик, романтика, камінчик горить. Ну і сидимо же ж, видумуємо позивні. Там. Один у нас Скіф став Скіфом, царство йому небесне, хлопчині. От, значить, ще одному Грек, там, у третьому там, Люба, ще комусь Чорний. Ну, в общем, придумували. Да. Ну і до мене черга ж дійшла, і хлопці, ну, не було вагань, монголом будеш. Я кажу, ну окей, буду, без проблем. У мене, як то кажуть, з самоіронією все в порядку. Я це прийняв. І одразу дзвонить мені дружина. Дзвонить дружина, каже, що робите? Я кажу, ну, що сидимо, позивні, он видумує. Тільки, кажу, з спешки прийшли, сидимо, позивні, придумуємо. Вона, ну і що, який тобі дали? Кажу, ну угадай з 3 разів. Вона каже, монгол чи що? Все, це була остаточна крапка.
That's really cool story, guys. So it was year 2015. It was under Avdiivka, and his new brothers in arms, well, they all, together with the new brothers in arms, decided to get some call signs for themselves. And one guy wanted to be Skif, another one wanted to become Greek, obviously. Another one was Luba, the fourth was Chorny, and Mongol actually did not have a chance to get it himself. One of his brothers told him, "You're going to be Mongol." And since of his look, right? His eyes have something. The shape of his eyes. They have something Asian in it. So since his childhood, he was always constantly called different names. He was Chinese, Japanese, Korean. Who else? Kazakh, Kyrgyz, and he was never called Mongol. So. Right after his brother-in-arms gave him that call sign, he calls his wife and he's asking, "What are you doing, guys?" He says, "Well, we were sitting and actually choosing call signs for ourselves. And guess which one they gave me?" And she said, "What, Mongol?" And she guessed from the first try. He was never called Mongol. But both his wife and his brother-in-arms called him Mongol, so it was pretty awesome. Okay, so guys, I see more questions. There was one from Tuna. She said, "Mongol, did you meet Kraken? Самого Кракена зустрічав?"
За руку вітались.
He says, "I was shaking his hand." How do you call that? Tentacle. I was shaking his tentacle. Yeah, probably. That's funny. So, first of all, I want to thank Linda H for 10 gifted memberships. Well, first of all, it's fourth of all. And we got the first donation on my PayPal. It's from Sharon.
Yay.
Her call sign, the nickname is SL. She donated $50 saying, "Hey, Rick and friends, send in what I can today to get the donation started. Please know American people stand with Ukraine, even if the government doesn't. Tickets, please." So, перекладаю. Привіт, Ріку та друзі. Посилаю те, що можу. І розпочинаю цикл донатів. Будь ласка, знайте, що американці стоять з Україною. І навіть коли їхній уряд не стоїть з Україною. Квиточки, будь ласка. So 5 tickets for you, my friend Sharon. Great story, thanks, Jubra says. The story of your call sign, it's really awesome. I really enjoy it. Anastasia, let's talk a bit about you. So guys, I remind you that I met Anastasia on Friezo rally, and she told me that she is involved into the European integration of Ukraine. And I know there are some experts there, those who live in Europe, in the chat. Well, I'm not sure that I'm expert. I'm just joking, but there might be. So, guys, please ask Anastasia questions. But it's not all. Anastasia is also a patriot. Anastasia, is it your husband who serves in the army or brother? You told us today.
I'm not married. No, it's
You're not married. Okay.
It's my second cousin.
It's a cousin. Yeah. So двоюродный брат. Because I heard something. Троюродный. Okay. So like. Okay, a second cousin.
Yeah,
that's how it works in
right.
English.
Yeah.
I just hear it for the first time. Okay, can you please tell us about him and about yourself too, please? First about yourself, and then about his service, because I know that rollers like to know more about our defenders, all of them, and basically. I think you understand, because we here in Ukraine, the active citizens, most of us have the affection for defenders, and we understand that we all need to make the stories more known. Please, I'm shutting up and giving you the microphone.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I have it here. So maybe I'll start with him, because as you said, well, our defenders are the most important people in our country these days, right? And so although this guy is a second cousin, so he's quite far relative, but to me he's a very dear person. I've known him since I was a little girl, and always had some special affection to him, because I have many relatives, many cousins, and I have a brother, but this Vlad, his name is, my second cousin from Cherkasy, he's very dear to me. So his story is that he had some very complicated life prior to the full-scale invasion of Russia into Ukraine, and before 2022 he had lived in Poland for a few years, but during the first days of the invasion he decided to come back to Ukraine to defend it. He joined the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine, and he served as a driver, bringing a lot of useful stuff from the western border to the east of Ukraine to help our defenders fight back the invasion. And so he's been serving all this time for more than 3 years. And since August of last year, his unit was transferred near Vovchansk, and they endured some quite heavy battles there. And also about a month and a half ago he was wounded, because he had been transferred from the position of the driver to the position of the infantryman. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And rather soon after that he was wounded in his shoulder. But the wound was quite complicated, and he got a month to recover, and then had to undergo a military medical commission again. And just yesterday he texted me that he got another month to recover, because that's obviously necessary for him to be able to go back and continue fighting for our country. So both his father, his closest person, and our family, we are all very proud of him. He's a hero for us, and I guess an example for many to follow. I also have other second cousin who is serving. His story is a bit different. He had been conscripted because he's much younger, and he had been serving before 2022. And when the full-scale invasion started, he continued his service that way. And then, when the period for the conscripted service ended, he had to choose either to be mobilized or to sign a contract with the armed forces of Ukraine. He decided to sign the contract, and he has already served in Sumy Oblast, in Kursk Oblast of Russia. He safely came back, fortunately, and continued also his military education. So we are really happy that both of them are rather well by now, and really proud of them. So briefly about myself, I've been working with the Ukrainian Association of Investment Business, which unites asset management companies formed under the special legislation in Ukraine. These companies, there are almost 300 of them, and they manage investment funds and private pension funds. Also, they have roughly 15 billion euro of assets under management. So,
Wow.
After the banking system, this is the second largest in terms of assets under management, largest financial sector of Ukraine, because we have banking system and all the other non-bank financial institutions. So we are the next biggest sector. I actually, although right now I'm on holiday, I celebrated 18 years of working with this association, moving from analyst to senior analyst, and then started to engage in foreign relations, communications with our foreign counterparts, the associations like ours, from European countries mostly, especially from Eastern and Central Europe. So I've been doing this since 2010, and since like 8.5 years ago, I've been promoted to the position of the Director of International Relations. So I have basically these two main directions in my work, so communicating with our foreign counterparts and partners, and also as a senior analyst I prepare quarterly reports which are made public through our website and social media, and also other analytics for internal use of our association and its leadership. We receive reports from our member companies, so basically all the information about the activities of investment funds under management and about the companies themselves, which they send to the state regulator. They also send to our association, so we can track and monitor the development of the industry. I've been doing this for more than a decade now, and we celebrated the association, that I work with, we celebrated 30 years since inception this April.
Well, so that's a Ukrainian company, right?
This is a Ukrainian
not a company.
Yes, it's not a company, it's association, so it's
Association.
an organization which unites companies in this special field of activity. So they are licensed, they have special license by the state body, which is called National Securities and Stock Market Commission. So we have the National Bank of Ukraine, which regulates banking system. And we have also this other financial regulator, which regulates the stock market of Ukraine and all the financial institutions which operate on the stock market and have these special licenses.
Okay. To be honest, if you would be telling all this in Ukrainian, I would be also a bit confused because I know just a little about the financial system, about the stock markets, about those commissions, the regulators.
That's
so.
normal.
Yeah, I understand that it's normal. Just wanted also to normalize that, me not understanding everything completely.
Sure.
But you told us that you. Okay, so it's about finances, right? So how finances in this matter? Well, I kind of understand, but not completely. How finances are involved into European integration of Ukraine? You help manage funds that are being invested by EU. Into Ukraine?
Okay, I'll explain.
Something like that?
Yeah, not exactly. My involvement into the European integration of Ukraine in my field means that, investment funds and companies which manage them, asset management companies, they are called in Ukraine, they have special legislation and regulations which basically regulate their activities, right? Like in every field, you have some legislation which sets the rules for those companies which are working in the special field, how to do that, right? Sets some limits, restrictions, and rules for their activities. So just like in every other field, we as Ukraine, we need to bring our legislative field, the laws and regulations into compliance with the European legislation. And we actually had to do this even before Ukraine got this candidacy. Yes, because we had the EU-Ukraine Association Agreement, which was signed after the Maidan Revolution, right? Euromaidan Revolution of Dignity. back in 2014. It entered into force gradually from 2014 to 2016, and there are deadlines under that association agreement according to which or by which Ukraine is obliged to transpose the European norms which regulate various fields of activities into its own national legislation, and then to implement them into practice, into reality. And because of the pandemics and then the full-scale invasion, those deadlines have been postponed. Yes, but currently our regulator has set its own deadlines, and the deadline was the end of March, basically to submit the draft law which would regulate, which would transpose those European norms into Ukrainian legislation. And would submit this draft law to the Parliament of Ukraine. They have missed the deadline, but just by 1 month.
Okay, not that bad.
Yeah. So
for our Parliament, it's pretty good result, right?
Well, actually, the draft law was prepared not by the MPs, but by this state regulator, the National Securities Commission, and my association, including myself and my colleagues, the legal advisors. We had been heavily involved in the discussions of the text of this law.
Do those discussions really help to shape it in the proper way?
Yes, they help a lot.
Okay,
but also what helps is that aside from receiving some comments, critique from our association, like which is the main trade body in our sphere, the field, the regulator, also the Ukrainian regulator, the Securities and Stock Market Commission of Ukraine, also receives feedback from the European colleagues. So basically the European Commission charges some specific organizations and authorities in the EU, or its departments, with the task to assess how well Ukraine is doing its job with the approximation of its legislation to the European one. And having received this feedback, and we as an association also saw this feedback, we could formulate our arguments when discussing our proposals to the draft law with the Commission. So basically what I'm saying is that when we say that this norm shouldn't be put this way, but it should be changed that way, when we have the same feedback from the Europeans, then our regulator listens to us really carefully and does take this into account. So
it works.
Yes,
it really works.
In most of the cases, it works. Sometimes they say no, so it's not that they accept all our suggestions and corrections to the draft law, but mainly it does work. And we have, since I've been involved into talks with and communications with my European colleagues since 2010, I've been following the developments in their legislation since then. So basically, in my association, although I'm not in a position of a lawyer, we have 3 legal advisors in the association. That I have been helping my colleagues a lot because I have been more familiar with the European legislation in this field, so my experience, I look at this from another angle, but this helps. We complement each other when we do this work.
That's really cool. And, they exist, says Anastasia, for EU chair. Anastasia, do you have the ambition to sometimes take the chair in the EU, Commission or Parliament? Because with your experience, of course, you still maybe don't have all the experience, but I think maybe it's already a good base for it. What do you think? Or am I wrong that you don't have all the experience? Maybe you already have all the experience. Sorry for that, Mongol. It's not easy for me to understand all of this, but for you, not knowing English, especially all these terms,
Я поясню.
Я цей зв'язок втратив десь приблизно в самому початку розповіді про себе. Не встигав у себе переварити. Сподіваюсь, весь цей час в мене обличчя було досить умне.
Обличчя було дуже зацікавленим, принаймні. Я потім розкажу головне, якщо цікаво.
Anastasia will tell the main of of what she said in English in Ukrainian to Mongol, because he did not understand most of it. He said, I lost connection somewhere in the beginning of that story. Also, there was a message from Cheryl. She said Anastasia's communication skills are excellent.
Thank you.
I agree. Cheryl
I can
could
answer
be
the question.
a native English speaker. Indeed. Indeed, you could
Thanks.
be. I mean, well, you're not, because you're
Yeah, obviously.
originally a Ukrainian speaker.
But I enjoy speaking English a lot, even though I don't get to speak English very often. I read text and listen to English daily, but speak not that much actually.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay, so answering that question regarding the position in the EU, for that I would first of all need to have EU citizenship, and I would get EU citizenship when Ukraine joins the EU. So in terms of ambitions, yes, maybe someday, but as I said, I guess it won't happen in the nearest 5 years at least. Well, those are optimistic estimates about Ukraine joining the EU, voiced by the experts. So in general, yes, I very much enjoy communicating with my European colleagues. They are mostly very friendly, even from countries which you wouldn't expect that. For example, Hungary. My Hungarian colleague has been very helpful when I sent some inquiry asking, how this or that specific matter is regulated
In Hungary?
In Hungary, yes. He always replies with some useful information, or writing as much as he can on the topic. So my personal experience with people from Hungary, both at my work and outside of work, also because my family has a friend in Hungary, has been very positive, and they are rather ashamed of their government, like some Americans you cited today also are. So we know that among the people, in all the nations that we are dealing with, there are many people who support us regardless of the position of their government and their actions.
Yep. These days, there are a few countries whose governments, whose politicians are shaming their citizens, unfortunately. But the most important thing, guys, that we Ukrainians understand that you, people who care about Ukraine, and I think in most of the democratic countries or countries in the EU, people care about Ukraine. We know that you are not your governments, are not your politicians, and that you are standing by our side. So when sometimes you hear us saying, fuck Hungary, they're blocking the EU, Ukrainian EU citizenship again, or something like that, or some packages, 8 packages, we don't mean the whole country. We don't mean the citizens of the country who are standing with Ukraine. Only the politicians. Do you agree with me, Anastasia?
Sure, and actually, regarding Hungary, I've just listened to a report from Budapest about their Pride, which took place recently, and the thing is that the Hungarian government wanted to, and now I forgot the word, after all those compliments about my English.
Ukrainian word?
Хотіли заборонити, wanted to basically prohibit and cancel Pride in Budapest, but the local authorities and the mayor of Budapest, who are very pro-Ukrainian, they basically ignored that governmental decree and allowed the Pride to happen. And this is a strong sign of the tendency that probably in the Hungarian politics there is some kind of shift, and the number and proportion of people, not just general public, but also people in power in various authorities who have adequate position regarding the war that Russia wages against Ukraine, and regarding Ukraine, they gain some power and impact, and probably the situation can change for the better rather soon.
That's really good. I forgot my microphone on the table. Yeah, thank you, Anastasia. It's actually pretty interesting, and we have super chat from Sir Shum, $13.99 Canadian dollars. A big dяка to Anastasia and Mongol. Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава.
Okay, guys. I think we need to answer some of the questions, more of them, and read some of the comments. Thank you, Tarsus, for Rick is a good egg. Much love to him, his channel, and people. I know that egg is probably an Australian slang or something. I heard this before, but it's, yeah, I know that it's a compliment. Каже, є просто така фраза, дивись, монголи. Rick is a good egg. Рік – це хороше яйце. Типу, дуже дивно звучить.
Ярославе, а як ви це робите?
Це треба мати membership. Якщо натиснути на емоджі.
Сюди?
Да. Тут є...
То, напевно.
Да, на оце. Ага, тут є емоджі, але їх зараз немає доступу до моїх оцих спеціальних. Це треба, щоб або купити спонсорство самій, або щоб подарували його. Guys, Anastasia asks how to use these interesting emojis with her face, Mongol's face. It's my moderator, Andreas Lech. He's my creative director.
That's impressive.
Before the stream, he asked me, Rick, send me the photos of Anastasia and Mongol so I can create their how do you call them? Emojis. Yeah. Це ти.
I like it. Thank you. Thank you.
Дуже маленький.
Але можна
так і не скажеш.
себе впізнати. Ну, я себе впізнаю. Я
Ну
просто
так, да. Анастасія.
Точно, це з минулої зустрічі нашої, напевно.
Да, походу. Yeah, Andres, I think this is from our last meeting with Mongol. Yeah, when we were handing over the car to him, which lived for like a week on the front line, right? Да, машину передали Монголу на Пасху, і щось десь тиждень вона прожила, на міну наїхала, і потім добили FPV-дронами. So guys, we're talking about that car for Ukraine truck that Mongol got from you and from me when I was there handing it over to him. He and his guys were on position, and other guys were coming to the position to rotate them. And then the truck on the way to position stepped on the mine, but the guys survived. Luckily, that car saved their lives, so you contributed to saving lives, and you saved and partially saved lives, each of you. Thank you so much for donating to all of those countless campaigns that I have. Right now, we have the one...
І хлопці, які вижили, дуже-дуже писали мені, скажи, хто нам подарував машину. Подякую. Якби була б інша машина, можливо, і не вижив.
Mongol says that please tell us who gave us the car and thank them for it because it saved our lives, and if it was a worse car we would not survive, maybe. Not sure, because they were talking about the Chinese Sangyong, right? That they had.
Yes. And UAZ.
UAZ. And UAZ is the Soviet car, I guess. Yeah? Sovietska, Radянska. Guys, we had two donations. One was 21 minutes ago. It was from Linda H, $50 for fundraiser. Would like to match Sharon's donation. And yes, American people love and support Ukraine. Linda H. Thank you so much, Linda, for your donation and for these words. Монголи, переклад потрібен того, що сказала Лінда, ні?
Так.
Каже, хочу матч. Як? Матч donation. Match the donation. Анастасія, допоможіть мені.
Ну, зрівняти, ну це не зовсім те.
Да, це типу як коли донатять якусь
аналогічно,
суму, і люди типу кажуть, типу, match me, типу, а як просто
повторити.
Повторіть мене, да, типу, і люди повторюють. І от Лінда повторила донат Шерон. Шерон задонала 50, і Лінда після цього також 50, каже, I want to match Sharon. Я типу хочу стільки ж, скільки Шерон задонала також. Ось, і каже, що і так американські люди люблять та підтримують Україну. Ось що вона сказала. Then Brian R. donated $200, and it was, let me tell you, 9 minutes ago. He says raffle tickets, half for moderators and half for rollers. Question for Anastasia. Once the Ukrainian investment laws are updated, is there a lot of interest in foreign investment to rebuild and invest in Ukraine? Thank you, Brian, for this question.
Actually, there is interest even regardless of the change in the Ukrainian legislation and its approximation with the European one. I got first messages about the interest in April 2022, once the Kyiv Oblast had been deoccupied. The interest came from Sweden, and this potential investor was curious actually to find out about the possibilities of investing into Ukraine, and he had connections with other investors in Sweden who had larger amounts of capital for possible investments. But then, so this was the first instance, and then during these 3 years, I also received from time to time other messages asking about that, and last meeting was in April this year. So many potential investors, they even come to Kyiv to make their research, to kind of investigate the possibilities, and especially after Trump's inauguration, many people who are not involved and not in the context very much, don't really know the situation on the ground. They had high expectations about the possible ceasefire and even maybe peace. That's why they thought that maybe the time has come to start investing into Ukraine, because for many of them, war risks obviously are among the highest priorities or obstacles rather for investment into Ukraine, although not the only obstacles. But many of them are sitting on the fence, as they say. So there are a lot of people with large capital, possible investments, and so-called retail investors. So a lot of Germans, as far as I know, who have not such big savings but still are interested and supportive of Ukraine. They would like to invest in the Ukrainian real estate market, for example. But they are mostly all sitting on the fence, which means they are waiting for the war to stop or for there to be some kind of a ceasefire, with expectations that the rockets and the missiles and the drones wouldn't fly regularly and keep destroying the infrastructure in Ukraine. And only after that they would be ready to invest in Ukraine. But businesses and investors who had been present in Ukraine before the full-scale invasion, they actually keep investing. And I mean both international foreign investors and local ones, right? So, for example, in my association, in our association, all of the companies are local ones. They are founded by local investors. Some of them are so-called non-residents, so people who have capital abroad and residency abroad, but they have Ukrainian origin. So they return capitals into Ukraine and invest in businesses here. So it's tricky and complicated, and actually bringing Ukrainian legislation in line with the European one would probably facilitate and make it more understandable and easier for European investors and for companies who run investment business, who manage investment funds, to come to Ukraine and establish the branches of their asset management companies in Ukraine. And actually, the rule of law is the main obstacle. And there are questions among foreign investors, both from Europe and from the US, regarding rule of law in Ukraine. This issue has been top one, in all the surveys of foreign investors run by American Chamber of Commerce, European Business Association in Ukraine. So it's not so much about the rules which regulate a specific field, but the general investment climate and the approach of the government of Ukraine and state authorities to businesses, to investors. in Ukraine. So I guess not to make it too long or too complicated, I guess I'll stop here. That's already enough, I know.
Well, that's a pretty not super detailed, but understandable. And you know, this danger of missiles and drones is something that is well, understandably stopping
yes,
the investors.
but happily we can see the interest is there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
but it's natural that people who want to invest in physical objects like real estate, you know,
Mm-hmm.
be it residential real estate or commercial real estate or some kind of infrastructure, they can see that when missiles are flying, that there's too high a risk, you know, in investing. And actually, there are international financial institutions and others who offer some guarantees, some protection, financial protection from insurance from war risks. But there are only just a few pilot projects offering some protection in case a missile hits, you know, an object you have invested in. And so this needs scaling up, so this is just in its initial stages. Well, I hope there will be some developments.
Yep,
in this
I
as well.
really hope it gets better, but yeah, mostly it's understandable. Okay,
But
so
as they say, we need to, you know, we need to disable the archer, not to destroy the arrows they are sending us. So we need to incapacitate Russia from launching these massive airstrikes on Ukraine, and not even to receive means to, you know, fight back these massive attacks like anti-air defenses. And
I think the only good guarantee for that is to disintegrate Russian so-called Federation. Дезінтегрувати, розділити на шматки російську так звану федерацію.
that will be the ultimate goal, yes, which would
Дело в тому, що якщо інтегрувати Російську Федерацію, то там же ж Російської Федерації вже і не буде.
Ну да, Московія.
То у них же ж немає своєї республіки усередині Російської Федерації.
Область буде.
Все.
Кремль.
На тому все
make
і-
Russia small again. I actually supported this campaign.
Make Russia small again.
I even bought a hoodie
Awesome.
with the old map of Russia. I'm going to show you this.
Make Russia small again. I mentioned the donations. Meanwhile, when you're looking,
okay, sure.
while you're looking, we also got $20 from Lynn S, and we got $210 from Tune Otteson. She says, "Please enter rollers, fund rollers, but the Kraken patch, you know, I need it." So Tune is donating a lot of money this week because she really wants this patch. So you guys can easily gift your tickets to Tune exactly if you want to. А можна прямо так в бік прибрати. Отак. О. So you can actually donate your tickets to Tune because she's already spending a lot of money. This should be no. Well, like, you understand what I say. You rollers like to share. So here's Anastasia in that hoodie. Make Russia small again. It suits you, by the way. And
I actually got it from my father.
and guys, this is the map of Moscovia. So we have there Vologda, Suzdal, and Moscow. Basically
The
three.
map of Muscovy from 1462 is,
то
if
так і
I'm not
буде.
mistaken, about the year.
Як то кажуть, повернути до чогось, з чого вони там починали.
Yeah, as Mongol says, to bring them back to what they began with, and they began with just a small oblast, which, well, like these days I think it's like 3 oblasts or something, a pretty small territory. So Moscovia is a cancer, and it spreads. It's what do you call that? Metastasis in English. You know, like
Stasis.
metastasis.
Yeah.
Stasis. Yeah, guys. Maybe you call it like that. It should be a universal word,
Yeah, it is.
right? Like Latin, right? Some patches are earned, not bought. Exactly. And this patch was earned also by Mongol. He served in Kraken for, once again, скільки ти прослужив в Кракені?
1,5 року.
For 1.5 years, and unfortunately he went back to the rear because of his knees. He served in an assault unit, so he carried a lot of heavy stuff. He's a pretty strong guy, but even strong guys on the front line constantly carrying all the gear on them. Their knees are not holding it, and any knees can crush. So was it like some particular situation that you remember that traumatized your knees? Є якась прям ситуація, яку пам'ятаєш, яка прям тобі травму нанесла на коліна? Може десь спригував з чогось? Щось таке чи було? Чи як воно у тебе було?
Так, була. Це, до речі, найперша бойовка, яка була у нас за Кракен, у мене мається на увазі. Це ми були під Солідаром, село Благодатне. Ми стримували вагнерівців та їхніх зеків, коротше. От. Вони там йшли, звісно, такою толпою. Це початок 23-го, січень 23-го. Солідар вже був під Кацапами, а село Благодатне ми ще намагалися стримувати. Благодатне, село Парасковіївка, Бахмутська, під Бахмутом. Оце була наша зона відповідальності на той момент. І в тому селі, та там і села, то, до речі, на той момент вже майже не залишилося, всі дома, будівлі зруйновані майже повністю. І наші позиції були, ніяких окопів не було. Це був січень місяць, окопів нема, вирити намагались, це просто нереально. Навіть піхота з кірками не справлялась. От. І там був такий бруствір насипаний, такий длинний бруствір. І ми за ним ховались. За цим бруствером 70 метрів сидять кацапи та і тулять до нас. Малими групами біжуть постійно. Мій командир відділення був трошки лівіше від нашої позиції. На жаль, він загинув на тому виході. У нас сломалась рація.
Командир ще раз
відділення.
Давай я перекладу цю частину, бо стільки деталей. So guys, this was the first big fight that Mongol was engaged in. It was January 2023. It was cold and they could not dig any trenches. They were in Blagodatne village, which is next to Bahmut, and there were massive hordes of Wagnerites and mostly prisoners, and they were storming the positions that Mongol and his guys had. They were sitting behind like a pile, what we call in Ukrainian, we call it brustver. I don't know, guys, maybe you call it,
Not sure.
maybe you have the same word. It's like a pile of ground soil, pile of soil probably, yeah. So basically they were sitting behind that, and Russians were incoming with like in small groups, right? Малими групами вони. 3-5 people. They were incoming, and the head of відділення, це ще раз скільки людей? 10. So the head of their unit, the 10 people, the commander of that unit, unfortunately was killed on the nearby position. На сусідній, да, кажеш, позиції він загинув?
Так, там десь близько 70 метрів.
Like 70 or 100 meters. And then I asked Mongol to pause it, to put it on pause, so I could translate it, okay? We have why he gave the Kraken patch to you. I don't think it was Mongol who gave me this Kraken patch. I think it was actually Wolf, his brother in arms, Wolf. Can we say his first name? Is it gonna be okay? Думаєш, нормально, якщо ми скажемо його ім'я Вовка? Як думаєш? His name is Roman. Wolf's name is Roman. So Roman gave me this patch, and I don't remember actually exactly. I think it was just as always for the help that we provide.
Це було коли машину ми отримували, у Київ приїжджали, пам'ятаєш?
Так.
Ми з тобою зустрілися, Юра був ще, тож волонтер,
Yeah, so
пам'ятаєш?
basically it was when we handed over the NAFA truck. It was then. Yeah, we handed over the first. It was actually first ever NAFA truck that we raised funds for, and it is still alive. It's crazy, guys. We call them Earthworks. Ці бруствери, Earthworks. Earth. Земля, works, робота. Земляні роботи. Hi, the poop guy. Hello, everyone who's joining. Guys, please don't forget to like the stream. We have only 64 likes today. Of course, it's not getting viral, so it's harder to get likes. But I'm sure some of you didn't give it. I remind you guys, those of you who are new to the channel or who just joined in and don't understand what's happening here, we are here with Mongol, formerly a Kraken. How do we call Kraken soldier, right? And Anastasia, she works in, well, financial funds industry. Yeah, and she's a communication specialist, and many of you guys already noticed that she has amazing communication skills. But basically, she's a communication director in the organization. So she.
Well, not exactly communications director, but I guess
Okay.
dealing with foreign.
Sorry,
partners.
for my simple brain, it's pretty.
Okay.
Of course, if I worked in that field, I would understand everything because it's not a stupid brain. It's just like connected to some.
I can explain the difference. Basically, my job is communicating behind the scenes, right? So communicating directly with our foreign counterparts, and not the public relations communications, which other people do. And we have a special person for that at our association, but she works in Ukrainian for the Ukrainian audiences and for our partners and the general public. So I do the inner works with our foreign friends and colleagues, and she's focused on the public inside Ukraine.
Oh, okay, got it. Hello, Matt. Welcome. Hello, Elegant Mass, by the way. Hello, Ulrich Varkentin. And who else we have there? Pit Lord. Hello, where are you from? Hello, Denise Frond. Guys, so maybe, you know what, Anastasia, let me say, like, I want to see one thing. There's this thing for gifted memberships. It should be like you need to turn it off to receive it, to get the emojis. You were asking about emojis, and I just reminded myself about it, or remembered it. Вибачаюсь. Ні, це купити, а саме тут є десь перемикач, коли робиш це з компа, там прямо є такий перемикач, дозволити отримання цих спонсорств в подарунок.
Ну, може спробую, коли дивитимуся стрім з компа, тобі.
Ну так, його треба увімкнути, бо зараз, якщо я попрошу ролерів купувати ці спонсорства, то, скоріш за все, ти їх не отримаєш, тому що їх треба включити отримання. Guys, I was supposed to, not supposed, but I was about to ask you to buy gifted memberships so Anastasia would receive it, but then I realized that this trick won't work because she anyway needs to turn on the automatic gifted memberships receival. Of course, I could have lied to you and say, do it, let's see Anastasia receiving it, and then in 100 memberships she still doesn't get it, and I'm like, ha ha ha. And no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be honest with you as always. So buy them only if you want, but probably Anastasia will not receive it because we don't see an option in here on the vertical stream from the phone. It's not really seen here, so I don't know how that works. But we had the questions before. We had the question about the car, if any parts of it. Tune was asking, can any parts of the car could be taken for the raffle? But I don't think it survived. You told me that Russians burned that car with FPV drones. Нічого від тієї ж машини не лишилося. Питає, типу, чи може ми якісь частину машини на розіграш поставимо, типу, зберемо грошей, але
Якщо треба ж звідти забрати.
No, guys, it stayed on the battlefield, unfortunately. None of it remained. Rick, what make of truck was it? I think it was L200. L200 це було, по-моєму, да?
Так.
Yeah, it was L200. If it survived the mine, it was rock solid. It was not a tank mine. Це ж не танкова міна була, да?
Ні.
Бо її там розірвало набагато.
Та, звісно. Скоріш за все, якась протипіхотна.
It was some, how do you call those mines? Anti-personnel mines. Yeah.
Ніхто не ходив, не дивився, що там зірвало.
Yeah, no one was investigating it because this is a danger zone and guys needed to evacuate fast. And of course they got contusions and I think some of them also broke their legs, right?
Так.
That mine explosion. And всім чи one guy had his organs damaged by the blast wave, unfortunately. Wow, Robert Janassar is gifting 50 memberships to see if maybe that works and Anastasia gets some.
Дозволити спонсорство в подарунок.
Оце натискайте.
І ще як отримати оцю іконку? Я там з прапором.
І вона автоматом
дозволити
отут дозволяє. Okay, guys, we found how Anastasia can accept membership, so she may receive it right now. Let's see if it will happen. She pressed the button. We found how to do it on the phone, so she is in the list of the people who can receive it. So it should work. Thank you very much, Robert Janassar.
Тобто це ще якась лотерея?
Воно рандомно роздає. Але якщо дозволили, то воно має дати зараз буквально там найближчі 10-20, воно має дати. And it's still being given it to people you see, so все ще роздає ті 50, тому можливо зараз якраз вдасться. Guys,
meanwhile, I can answer 2 questions I saw in the chat.
You saw. By the way, there was a response from Brian R. He was thanking you. Did you notice that one? Because I wanted to mention it. Brian said, sorry, but I think. Oh, here it is. Please thank Anastasia. Sounds like the world is interested rebuilding Ukraine. Sure. That is great news for the future of Ukraine. Indeed.
They are interested in. Both helping us and earning some money, on that, because everyone realizes that this is a huge opportunity once the war is ended here. Everything will flourish, and everything will be booming because even people who had known anything before the full-scale invasion about Ukraine. They have learned a lot and saw that Ukraine is actually Europe, and it's even more developed than some European member states, which I will not mention, which exactly. But anyway, so we have talented people, we have good infrastructure basically, and deep history and so on, and so to the questions, I guess.
Just wanted also to mention Denise was saying Anastasia's work sound interesting and Kraken needs no introduction. Top-notch work of all, I guess. Каже, що Кракену не потрібні, як це introduction українською. У мене тільки кацапське слово.
А у мене тільки англійське.
Introduction. Коротше, не потрібно представляти. Кракен всім відомий юніт і крута робота, так що, друже, thank you for your service. You know that one, right? Дякую за службу. And right now, guys, I remind you that right now Mongol is not in Kraken. He moved to 66th Brigade, unfortunately not by his own will, by some not the best command he had, but now he has different commands, so we can talk about that, I guess. Кажу, що не по своїй волі, не найкраще командування у тебе було і тебе перевели туди. But you know what I want to do, guys? I want to leave you for 2 minutes, a bathroom break, okay? So I'll give the microphone to Mongol, and you answer the questions, Anastasia, please. Thank you. And before I go, I want to tell you guys that we raised $530 so far. Thank you so much. Let's go to 700. Only 170 left, and I'm not going to be setting any new goals. Okay, so here's the patch on the raffle this week. This beautiful Kraken patch. Some say it's leather, but no, it's rubber. It's a rubber patch, and it's one of the best designs of the patches in Ukrainian army that I've seen, I would say. Yeah, pretty cool, memorable and recognizable design. So please donate, guys. Let's raise 170 more, and see you in 2 minutes. Anastasia відповідає на питання, я просто тобі дав мікрофон, я обираю
Плюс.
So regarding the questions to me, first about my alma mater. So I graduated from the Kyiv National University of Trade and Economics. Currently I think it has slightly different name, but basically when I graduated in 2007 it was the National University, and the main department was the banking. Well, basically the faculty was banking faculty, and my specialization was financial intermediation. So basically I have been working entirely according to my specialty, to my which I earned at the university. And when it comes to the languages, well, aside from Ukrainian, Russian and English, I speak a little Spanish. Also, I have tried to learn some Gaelic, so the Scottish language, just a tiny bit, because I have this hobby of Scottish dancing, Scottish country dancing. Not only dancing but also teaching. I have been to Scotland 3 times, and I have been interested in the culture in general, well, specifically in dancing, but also in languages. I like learning languages. Unfortunately, it requires a lot of time, effort and energy, and since the start of the full-scale invasion, it's been really tough to keep learning. But recently I have returned to the app which I had used before the full-scale invasion, and keep practicing. So I guess that's it. Let me check if there are other questions. Thank you. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yes, CNEO is a different economics university in Kyiv, also a famous one.
Guys, I see you reading the chat.
Yeah, I have answered 2 questions which I saw in the chat. So
Okay, thank you.
now checking the feedback.
I wanted to first of all thank once again Robert Jonesar for 70 gifted memberships today. First time 20. I forgot to thank you at that time. And yes, the base, man, I checked it. 10,000 hryvnias donation from Robert Jonesar on the base today. It was in the beginning of the stream, like first 15 minutes of the stream he donated. Thank you very much, guys. It's around $240, and he says Kraken patch tickets for Tune. So Robert Jonesar is really dedicated this week to give the tickets to Tune. I'm really happy to see it. Thank you, Robert. He does that. Robert is known by always giving his tickets to rollers. He never wants any, and I sent him a few patches. He sent them to rollers. So he
Nice.
gives everything. Robert, you're a legend. Thank you so much for this donation today, for those memberships. And Anastasia still did not get the membership, the gifted one, right? But she turned it on. So guys, if any of you has the means to buy any of them, then you will be able maybe to help Anastasia get those emojis. Because I don't know, do you want them? Maybe I'm just like asking them to do. Maybe you were just curious and you don't want the emojis.
Yeah, I sure do.
Okay.
I can see a question from Brian R. Will there be opportunities for small investors to invest in Ukraine after the war? If so, where would someone find out about those opportunities? Yes, I'm sure there will be, and I'm sure that both companies working in the EU would create investment products, so basically funds investing in Ukraine, and also our local companies would create new funds and offer opportunities to invest via existing funds, which would be transformed under this new legislation approximated to the European norms. So we expect that when the war has ended, our legislation will be at the same level playing field with the European one. So it wouldn't matter much whether you invest via some European company or fund into Ukraine, or you can have basically the same opportunities to invest directly via Ukrainian funds as well. And this legislation, which we are working on right now, it's aimed first and foremost to give the opportunities to retail investors, because big, large institutional investors who have large sums of capital, they can actually they already have opportunities to make use of various ways of investing into Ukraine, either via institutions like our funds or directly through foreign direct investments, which has been available for decades, basically.
Guys, thank you so much for 2x5 gifted memberships, one from Elvin Archer and second one from Andreas Lech. Also, I just understood that we interrupted Mongol's story about his fight in Bahmut and how he got his knee injury, the first one. Кажу, що ми ж тебе перебили. Ти ж розказав про Бахмут. Сиділи ви там за цим бруствером, так? I want him to continue, so I'm gonna give him the mic, and then I'll be translating after. Thank you. By the way, thank you, Anastasia, for answering those questions.
Sure.
Щоб безпечно рухатись під цим брустером, він невеличкий, приходилось рухатись постійно на полусогнутих ногах. Ну, в общем, отаким чином звернувшись. Але здебільшого бої велись статично. Вони біжуть, ми стріляємо, вони стріляють, ми пригнулись, але все більш-менш статично відбувається. Вони як оті ходячі мерці йдуть, ти їх лупиш, йдуть, ти їх лупиш. Єдине, що ховаєшся, прикриваєшся від артилерії, там, або танк по тобі працює, там, чи щось, чи СПГ який-небудь. Але був момент, коли, як я казав, рація не працювала. Через суміжників командир відділення вийшов на мене і дуже сильно просив допомоги ударити по кацапам чимось важким. Ручним, але важким. Суміжники, здається, з першої танкової бригади були там хлопці у нас. Вони мені про це повідомили, у мене біля мене лежить куча гранатометів одноразових. Але я не міг стріляти ж від себе, бо я спалю, ну, як то кажуть, по мені тоді все полетить. Тому мені прийшлось бігати, між нами була галявинка, пуста. Я ото беру 2 гранатомета, значить, все ж, решта ж амуніції теж на мені, все це важке. Біжу, тож на полусогнутих, прибіг, висунувся, відстріляв. І так 9 штук. Оце отак подряд. Прибіг, взяв, побіг, відстріляв, прибіг.
9 разів, так?
І отак от 9 гранатометів я, значить,
По 2, так?
Так, раз,
5
вистрілив,
разів
2.
бігав десь.
Да. І от таким чином, і тоді, саме тоді я почувствував, що мої ноги вже ж не 20-літнього мальчика.
Не полусогнутих.
Все ж не полусогнутих. Але, їхню піхоту ми зупинили, і мої дії, в частності, теж це зробили. Але, на жаль, піхота не працює по артилерії. Вона достала нашого командира і багатьох інших бійців з суміжних підрозділів. На жаль, тоді немало загинуло.
Співчуваю.
Така історія про мої ноги.
So, guys,
Але після цього я з цією пошкодженою ногою ще довго пробігав на, так сказати, на укольчиках, таблеточках. Одна операція, полічився, побіг. Друга операція вже все. Дальше бігати вже не можна.
Співчуваю, друже. So guys, the story, the end of the story. So they are in, ще раз назва населеного пункту. Благодатне, near Bahmut. Russians already captured Solidar, Wagnerites in particular, and they are storming the positions that Mongol and his guys are on. They are in Kraken. They are protecting the Blagodatne. And Russians were pushing hard in small groups, but non-stop. And that was the tactics they invented, Wagnerites invented, and then Russian Ministry of so-called Defense, Ministry of Attack, then started using that tactic all the time, and they use it today, and it is unfortunately effective. Together with the help of FPV drones and artillery, they are getting success in taking the positions. But coming back to Mongol's story, his commander asked him to support the infantry with something heavier, and Mongol had a lot of hand grenade launchers. Sorry, not hand. Одноразові, Anastasia, як сказати англійською? Like one-time grenade launcher. So it's a grenade launcher that you don't need to recharge. You just shoot it and you throw away the tube. But that earthworks, that pile of soil that they were hiding behind was not high. And Mongol all the time needed to move along that pile напівзігнутих, як це англійською сказати, in such a position. He always need to lean, and his knees were always зігнуті. Were always
bent knees.
Bent, yes. So he was moving on bent knees, and he needed to carry those grenade launchers from his position. В скількох метрах ото було місце, галявинка?
Метрів 50.
About 50 meters. He needed to move them about 50 meters away and shoot from that point, because if he shot from his position, he would be spotted, and all the fire, like artillery and mortars, would start hitting him. So he needed to go to that position. So he took 2 grenade launchers and went there on his bent knees, and then he needed to repeat it 4 more times, because he used 9 grenade launchers, and his actions actually saved, not saved the operation, but kind of really played the big role in that defensive mission. And unfortunately, he says infantry cannot fight the artillery, and Russians then just covered him and his brothers in arms in artillery fire, and his commander was killed, and many more guys. He says that they has taken heavy losses back then, and as you could see, he was not very cheerful when he said that. You can understand. So when he was carrying those grenade launchers, he felt that his knees are getting worse. So basically, he got a big part of his trauma with that. But he says on pills, on the shots, he still was holding for the next year and a half and not going to the hospital. Тобто ще 1,5 роки не попадав?
Ні, не 1,5, десь.
Not 1.5.
Трошки тренувань, операція.
A bit of training, surgery, 1.5 months of rehabilitation, and again on the battlefield. So he was constantly go into the hospital to rehabilitate and heal and rehabilitate again and again, but then coming back to the battlefield. And yeah, unfortunately, one of those leaves to heal his knees, he was transferred to another unit. He did not even know that he will leave Kraken, but his commanders did it for him. And that will hurt your knees badly. Yeah, so that hurt his knees badly. That's the reality of war, guys. Just completing the battle task for like an hour. Скільки приблизно зайняло часу це ходити туди-сюди з гранатометами?
Так, ну там же все.
Не знаєш, да?
Да. Ну я не знаю.
Mongol says it's all like the time is slowed down there, so it's really hard to tell. But yeah.
Було без зупинки, але скільки часу?
Yeah, let's say it was like half an hour, but you can really injure your knees just by lifting and carrying the heavy weight from point A to point B, and between those points it was only 50 meters, and yeah, you can get the injury like that, because of course he also had his machine gun on, sorry, not machine. До речі, що було, арка чи може кулемет ти носив? So he had scar on him. Ти ж з собою брав його разом з гранатометами. Of course, he had his scar on him. He had all the gear. Скільки приблизно, окрім гранатометів, на тебе вазі було? How much weight did you have on you? Around 35 kilograms without the grenade launchers he had on him, approximately. So you can... А скільки один гранатомет тієї моделі важив приблизно? Yeah, even if the grenade launcher was 10 kilograms, 5, 7 kilograms.
Не знаю, може 10. Я от, чесно кажучи, ніколи не замислювався.
He didn't even think about it ever.
Можна подивитися. Це ж не є проблема.
So, dear rollers, last donation from Tuna on my PayPal was 37 minutes ago. Can we please fix that? 6.7 kilograms. So guys, 7 kilogram, one grenade launcher. So he's 35 kilograms plus 14 kilograms. So he carried around 49 kilograms on him. Десь 49 кілограмів на тобі було в той час.
Так.
Guys, please donate, please buy more tickets for the Kraken patch. Those who did not donate today, of course, those who already donated, I am grateful, thank you. Please probably save up some money for Sunday, because on Sunday, as always, we will have to raise $3,000. We increased the goal for the car for 92nd Brigade today up to 500,000 from 300,000, because first of all, they will have to armor the transmission. I'm not sure the transmission is the right word, but they need to armor the car from beneath, so all the mechanisms there will be more like sustainable. Iron Man, знаєш таку броню підвіски, типу? Чи не підвіски, чого це?
Мається на увазі спорядження саме?
Ні, на машину мається на увазі. Підвіску на машині бронюють, коротше, називається Iron Man. So they call that armoring Iron Man, and it costs 50,000 hryvnias or 60, and they also need the tires that cost 40 to 50, so the car will cost them more than 300, and 100,000 of those 500,000 will be for that gear, for the tires, for the good mud tires, and for the Iron Man. So I increased it to 500,000, so we won't be able to close it probably in a week, but who knows? We will see how it goes. This week is already going pretty well in terms of fundraising. Thank you for that. And guys, you can also donate to the campaign that the QR code to it you can see at the top of the screen. It's for the NAFO trucks. We raised for 3 of them. It is going a bit slow. I asked Georgies today to help me with that campaign, so he will be not donating. He will be mentioning it on one of his streams or videos. He said no problem, so I'm really grateful to him. Let's hope it will boost the campaign. So let me show the patches to Anastasia and Mongol. I showed it to Anastasia already during the free as of stream, 100%. I'm talking
cool.
about my campaigns all the time, everywhere. So Okay, so that was Florida Battalion. Thank you for helping that one yesterday. Mongol, зараз на нафотраки оті збираємо, що і вам тоді передавали. І компанія, зараз отакі у нас там патчі, дивись.
У мене є ідея для
Ну, це
аукціону.
що ці, що...
да?
Зачитаєш усі повідомлення, я тоді скажу.
Okay, Anastasia says that she has an idea for an auction. Блін, я не в ту сторону, бачиш, пішов. Треба вперед. Зараз. Ось, дивись. Я хочу відкрити цю компанію і показати тобі. Перший. May the borscht be with you. Знаєш, may the force be with you зі зоряних війн. Да прибуде з тобою сила.
Прибуде з тобою борщ.
І бачиш, транслітерацію зробив. Зазвичай англійською пишуть борщт. Але я українською зробив. Я зробив шч. Ось.
У мене колись француз запитував саме це, чи потрібно там ті в кінці. Я йому сказала ні.
Nice. Anastasia says one French guy asked me once if there should be tea there, and she told him no. So we have that baby Yoda to attract even more attention because cute baby Yoda. Maybe more people would like to donate to that one. So the second one is this patch in drones we trust. So, може пам'ятаєш, на банкноті доларовій є In God We Trust, $1, там типу ми віримо в Бога.
I love this one.
And ми її переробили In Drones We Trust. І там намальована піраміда з всевидящим оком. Да. Бачиш, переробили це око під сучасне, бо там було людське око. Тут вже це сучасне камера. Yeah, we have this all-seeing eye, the modern one, the camera, and that is not a pyramid, guys. That is actually a terracon on Ukrainian Donbass. So you can see that patch at the top of the screen on top of a Mongol. Mongol, можеш на нього показати. Бачиш, над головою у тебе той патч. Yeah, here that is. So that is a cool patch. And the Patriot system, that is one of the best in the world, and I think we already got some donations there today too. Thank you so much for that, guys. Yeah, on that campaign we had 17,660 something when I was at home, and now we have 18,491, and we have a donation from Nikolai, from Roxanne. Wow, that's really cool. Thank you everyone who's joining that campaign. So we have a big goal. We need to raise 64,250 euros. Right now we're on 18,491. So, okay, Anastasia told me that after reading 2 messages in the chat from Zhubra, I guess, right? She will tell us that she has an idea. So, my Ukrainian wife and I had a box of 6 Artemivsk bottles of champagne we bought in 2014, before the city was renamed Bahmut. When we had to leave Pokrovsk, we couldn't take the box with us. Our flat in Pokrovsk was bombed in March, and apparently that sparkling wine is now worth a lot of money. Could have donated to raise money for the armed forces of Ukraine in a raffle, but the Kassabs destroyed it. Do you have something similar?
I actually have a bottle of sparkling wine Artemivske, which was presented to me by my parents for the new year 2022. And I have been keeping it in my fridge until the victory. But right now, having read these messages, I suggest that we maybe auction this bottle. Yeah?
That's a really cool idea.
So we can discuss it later and arrange it
Thank
for
you.
the next stream.
Thank you very much for this idea. What?
Прикольно на відео вийшло. Тіп прийшов, поставив.
He's a bro. Yeah, Mongol says on the video, it looked really funny. So the guy is bringing us stuff, putting it on the table, and I was a bit confused. I thought, when did they have a chance to order it? Because when I was everyone was staying here. Then he took it and just keep carrying it on. So guys, would you be interested in a bottle of Artemivske from Bahmut? Basically, or yeah, I think it's the plant was not the plant, but like a factory, right? Or how do you call it? Brewery. right? What do you call the place where they produce some champagne?
I'm not sure, but anyways.
Sparkling wine, guys. It's not a
Yeah.
champagne. We have no right to call it the champagne. Yeah.
But actually, this is one of the four, I think, plants or factories producing, which produced or used to produce sparkling wine within the former Soviet Union according to the traditional technology. So when I posted the photo of this bottle on LinkedIn and explained the history behind it, or one of my foreign contacts actually commented that Ukrainian sparkling wine made according to this technology is actually even better than many sparkling wines which are being sold in Europe. So it's not worse than than the French or Italian ones.
В чому суть запитання?
Каже, розказує Джубра історію, що у них з дружиною був цей ящик Артемівського ігристого. Залишився в Покровську, розбомбили їм там квартиру, коли вони з'їхали звідти, коротше, а ящик там лишився. Ну, коли почалась повномасштабка. І Анастасія згадала, що у неї є така пляшка.
В холодильнику лежить, батьки подарували на Новий рік, 22-й.
Офігеть.
Я вирішила залишити до перемоги. Але от зараз, побачивши ці повідомлення, пропоную зробити аукціон, тільки таку гарну стартову ціну зробити.
Ну та, скільки? $1000?
Ну, обговоримо, я ще не готова. Євро, як мінімум.
Здається, саме він там десь в коментах каже, мого монгола навчить англійський.
Ага, можливо. So yeah, we basically are teaching Mongol some English. Mongol, if you want to know some exact words, ask us, please. Якщо хоч, будеш чути якісь саме слова конкретні, питай нас. Це також хороший варіант. So guys, what do we have here? We still have 46 minutes of the stream. We did not have any donations for the last 43 minutes. And I ask you to please donate to the PayPal, to buy some tickets. To get to $700, which is totally doable, we need to raise only $170 more. Send anything you can, anything you want. Guys, I actually have like an emergency item if we will be moving slowly. I have an extra item to put on the raffle for this particular stream, but it's yeah, it might be already too late because it's only 45 minutes and working on the spreadsheet will be crazy. So if I decide to do it, I will do it now. Epic, Andres says, like this, you see? EPIC, epic, the Kraken patch emoji there. So, yeah, guys, there's an extra item that I bought on one of the fairs here in Kyiv. I don't remember exactly where, but yeah, I bought a thing to raffle someday, so maybe that's the situation. I'm not sure, like, we already raised $530. It's already a good result, so maybe I don't need to push extra today. Let me wait for 10 more minutes and then we'll decide, okay? Thank you. I wonder if it's possible for normal people to invest in the Ukrainian defense industry or any other part of the country that currently needs funds. That's a good idea, Paul, but the problem is the size of investments is huge. It's millions of dollars, sometimes tens of millions and hundreds of millions. I think the best way to invest into the Ukrainian defense industry is to subscribe to Sternenko's Russories, for example. Their base, you can subscribe, and that's going to be your monthly investment. Well, of course, you won't get any dividends. How do you call this in English?
It depends. It depends what kind of instruments you use. So you get the dividends when you invest in equity. in stocks or
Ah,
shares.
so that's
So
it's different. Okay, profit. Well, we
Yeah,
can
well,
call it
yeah.
profit. You won't.
return on investment. That's
Yeah,
what they call it.
return of
investment.
on investment.
Yeah.
You will not get it if you invest into Russoris, for example, but you will anyway invest in your future in the indirect way. And Dana Kiev says, Paul, you are doing it right now, actually. Return of investment. Dana actually also knows.
Yeah.
She says off, but it's on investment.
On
I think
investment, yes.
Anastasia, since she works in finance, she knows that very well. Guys,
Actually, you can invest indirectly into Ukrainian defense sector if you buy in Ukraine war efforts more generally. If you buy Ukrainian state bonds, which
foreigners can do this?
Yes, they can.
I didn't know that.
So I guess you can ask your bank in your country whether they can offer this. It depends. I'm not sure. Or you can search for information on the website of the National Bank of Ukraine. I'm sure they have info for that. Well, for example, I am an investor. Yes, I am Ukrainian. I live in Ukraine. I'm a Ukrainian resident. It's easier for me, and there are various ways to invest in Ukrainian state bonds. I used a broker back when there was only this path. Right now, Ukrainians can invest by DIA, which is available to everyone. It's simpler, but it gives more limited opportunities. I definitely know that there is an opportunity for non-residents of Ukraine to both individuals and institutions, companies to buy Ukrainian state bonds sold in euro on the European market.
I didn't know that.
Or in
this is why
US dollars, yes.
I did not offer that option.
And also, as Rick said, it's complicated to invest directly into Ukrainian defense sector. If you are a retail investor with not such a large amount of capital that you can commit, but there are, for example, Danish model, right? So the Danish government offers to invest in defense production in Ukraine. If you're a citizen of Denmark, you invest in that initiative indirectly. But if you are a so-called large investor with big amounts of capital available to you, you can also turn to various startups or venture capital firms, both located outside of Ukraine and in Ukraine. And I know one of such firms who invest in defense and dual-use products. So basically all the cutting-edge technology which helps Ukraine fight back. And if you need some information about them and contacts, I could probably share it via Rick.
Я можу поділитися контактами там як мінімум однієї компанії, яка має в офіс в Києві. Одна з засновниць, вона живе в Києві дуже давно. Вона працювала тут в фінансовій сфері понад 10 років, і вона заснувала зі своїм партнером-американцем венчурну фірму. Вона зареєстрована в Штатах, але має в офіс в Києві і інвестує в продукти подвійного призначення і в хай-тек, в оборонній галузі. Тобто ці всі дрони, всі інновації пов'язані з ними, і інші технології, які допомагають оборонці, вони за цим дуже слідкують і інвестують, власне, і до них можна звертати. Вони самі інвестували в це і допомагають іншим, хто має певні, я не можу сказати, який це мінімальний поріг, але можна до них звернутися, запитати, чи можна до них долучитися.
Okay, yeah, guys. So if you are really interested into investing, Anastasia has contacts. She has a friend who has or works in the venture fund, right?
Yeah, she has founded with her American partner. She is an American herself, but she has lived in Ukraine for more than a decade. She founded a venture capital firm which invests in dual-use products and defense tech. she has committed her own capital into this and also suggests others who wish to join in to do that as well via their firm. And there are many other such firms operating in Ukraine as well. But these guys are special because although they are registered in the United States, so they are basically not a Ukrainian firm, but they have office in Ukraine, in Kiev, and one of the partners, so this woman, she lives in Kiev actually, and has on-the-ground experience and knowledge.
Okay, thank you. So guys, if you're interested, contact me. I'll contact Anastasia. She will share the contact. Oh my god, 3 times I said contact. Сказал 3 рази контакт. So, what do we have here? We have a donation, $10 from Rooney. Rooney says, release the Kraken. 1 ticket, my friend. Slava Ukraini. Героям слава. Rooney is from Norway. He also put the Norwegian flag there, together with the Ukrainian one. Ukraine and Norway love, and he's saluting. And just now we got $20 from Wella for the fundraiser. Tickets to rollers, please. Good, good job, guys. Thank you. We still need to raise, let me tell you, $140 to get to 700. Let's do it and just chill after, okay? Maybe we do it in the next 5 minutes. I know that this community is capable of that. So please donate. We're raising funds for the car for 92nd Brigade. Right now they are a drone unit operating fiber optic FPVs. Це оптоволоконними дронами луплять кацапську артилерію.
Ну, то гуглять, звісно.
Ні, це я кажу, що 92-гі, які ми допомагаємо, вони займаються саме цим. Оцей підрозділ. Yeah, so guys, we are about to help them with car, and well, almost all the money that you donate to this initiative will go to this fundraiser. The rest of them, like for example those $210 from Tune, will go to Rollers Fund Rollers, which is for our NAFA truck campaign. That's that QR code that you see on the screen. I'll send those $210 there when the time comes, and the time comes on Tuesday. So get ready to give me some names of the people who I should get the patches to. Коротше, оця у нас ініціатива, швиденько поясню ще, щоб ти розумів, є Rollers Fund Rollers, тобто ролери спонсорують ролерів. Як це, типу, відноситься взагалі? Це оці збори. Щоб отримати патч, ти маєш задонатити 100 євро за один патч. У деяких людей немає таких грошей, тому вони подають заявку в цьому чаті. У нас є в Discord чат Rollers Fund Rollers, щоб їм патч здобули. І ролери донатять.
Чому ролеру?
Ні, вони донатять мені в той фонд, вони пишуть приписочку, типу, що це для цього фонду. І потім я беру з цього фонду гроші і купую людям, які попадають в той список. Ну, коротше, у нас ролери забезпечують патчами тих, хто не може собі дозволити їх отримати. Так що така, ну да, клас. І такі люди, знаєш, у нас дуже, як це, турботливі.
У нас зараз повітряна тривога, і ось те, про що я говорила. Моя американська подруга знову написала мені "Stay safe, dear Настя". So I have this American friend who I have been in contact with for years, I guess for all the 3.5 years since the start of the full-scale invasion. We connected via LinkedIn, and every time there's air raid alert here in Kiev, like right now, she texts me, "Stay safe, dear Nastya." So this is very touching, and I appreciate it all.
Yeah, it's really.
And she's actually
cool.
coming to Kiev in a couple of weeks with another friend of ours from the Netherlands. They will bring humanitarian aid and other stuff useful for our defenders. So I'm not sure if we meet. We haven't met personally, but I hope that they can make some time to available for coming to Kiev and for us meeting. That would be very nice. But anyways, she has been one of the most supportive and friendly persons I've met online, and she's trying to do everything possible to support Ukraine and also to raise awareness in the US and to help her fellow Americans understand the necessity and the importance of supporting Ukraine. So she attends rallies in support of Ukraine on a regular basis. Yeah.
Bring her to Friazov rally when she's here. I bet she would like to.
If she's here on Sunday, I will.
Yeah, please do. Thank you. $30 donation from Andreas Lech. He says, much love and respect to Anastasia and Mongol from Niedersachsen Oblast in Germany. Tickets to Tune, please. Андреас каже, любов та повага Анастасії та Монголу з області Нідерзахен в Німеччині. So, sometimes, by the way, okay, whatever. I won't. Damn it, I'm tired today, guys, so I'm not the most hyperactive host today. And maybe a bit unfocused, but I actually feel that I'm not in the worst shape today, so thank you, Andres. Guys, $110 more to raise, and then I just stop bothering you with that. So please donate anything you can to get to those 700 today on PayPal. And for that, you only need to donate $110 more and get the tickets for this patch. I'm gonna show it once again. If you forgot how the Kraken patch looks, and maybe you didn't know that it is on the raffle this week, but it is. So please donate. Guys, I also want to ask Mongol more questions, because it's only half an hour left, and you have the unique opportunity to ask the FPV drone pilot how his work is either going or organized, because after Mongol's knees said no to running and lifting too heavy weight, he requalified into a drone pilot, and Mongol was doing that just коли востаннє скільки днів тому ти був за кермом FPV дрона?
Був, ух ти.
Коли це було останнє?
Кінець квітня.
The end of April. So already May and June passed 2 months ago, and since then he was treating his knees again and rehabilitating, because his knees said goodbye once again, and now he needs to treat them again.
Саме goodbye.
Yeah, he says exactly goodbye. Rick, I sent you email last year because I anticipated you would run across people like Anastasia and associates who would show interest in the disclosed project. A year has passed. I can resend. You know what? Do it. I'm gonna send the email to Anastasia.
Okay.
So, yeah, you know they exist. Thank you. I already forgot what was in that email. Sorry, but you understand how much communication I have, and how many emails I have, and how it can all get mixed in my head. But that's a good idea. Please send it. I'll resend it to Anastasia. I don't know what questions have been asked. LOL. Does he do free game? I love the videos I've seen where they do what they need and then roam. I don't get the question. Anastasia, do you get this question from Leah B. Traveling? You're actually looking at
Yeah,
it
this
right
one
now. Yeah.
is...
What's free game? Does he do free game? I love the videos I've seen where they do what they need and then roam. And what's a roam, by the way?
I have no idea. Roam, скитаться.
Really? Okay. So roam is interesting. Oh, sorry, I think they called it free hunting. Типу як вільне полювання? Щось таке. Щось розумієш? Ви робите вільне полювання? I got it. What you mean, you probably mean that they go with an FPV drone on a free hunt, like on patrolling, and when they see the target, they hit it. Да, мабуть, мається на увазі, що ви типу як на патруль просто FPV-дроном вилітаєте, не чітко по цілі, яку бачите. Ну, ні, взагалі робите таке?
Так.
Yeah, they do that.
Коли дронів багато.
Типу як вільне полювання. Просто when we have enough FPV drones, because you guys know that they can be of deficit, and lately they are of big deficit because unfortunately I think our Ministry of Defense messed up a bit and missed a few months of signed contracts. So like for a few months no contracts were signed, so now we have this gap in the shipment, so soldiers are just waiting for the contracts to be not performed but like fulfilled, right? I think Anastasia should know what is like the contract will be what, fulfilled or
Yeah.
performed?
Could be. Not
performed, definitely. Fulfilled. Yeah. Let's call it like that. Does Mongol ever get dizzy? I've done VR and my brain can't handle it. That's a good question. Не кружиться у тебе голова, коли ти FPV-дроном в окулярах оперуєш? Чи може спочатку кружилась? Only at the beginning, but he got used to it.
Перві два виліти.
First two flights, he had his head spinning, but then he got used to it.
ПВО работает. Вот сейчас покажу.
What do you mean by that? The air defense is working. Like, we have a question from Mongol. Amazing. He will show us the photo. ПВО роботи, ти маєш на увазі, що ти вверх дивишся і щось збивати ти хочеш там.
Це воно. Зараз перший мій виліт.
Let me show it. Давай покажи. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, guys. So, this was Mongol's first battle task flight. So he says he called this position the air defense is working. You see, he's not only operating the drone, he's hitting something up there with lasers from his eyes or from his glasses, probably. Not much like eyes. Okay, so guys, the donation stopped. I remind you, only $110 more left to raise. So please donate, and we have for that, you have for that only 26 minutes. Do you see more questions? I saw one actually.
I just recalled that answering the question about the languages, I forgot a very important language which I have been learning recently, which is Crimean Tatar language.
Oh yeah.
Kharam Tatarja. So I took this online course offered by the Tavrisky University, which had been forced to move from Crimea to Kyiv. They have premises here, but they basically run like a normal university, teaching students. But they also offer for adults these special online courses with one lesson a week. And also in the middle of the course they offer additional speaking club for those willing to practice their speaking skills. And after almost a full academic year of this course, we got this certificate of A1, A2 level, so I'm very proud to have the confirmation that I have finished this online course. It was rather challenging because aside from living in a war and having to work, I also had some quite difficult health issues, and sustaining all that and learning a language under such circumstances was really hard for me. But since I was very motivated and I had been willing to learn the language for years before I started So I was quite motivated to finish the course, and I have, aside from my group and my teachers, I have now new acquaintances like Alina, for example, whom I met recently at the Free Azov rally, and they kind of help me with the motivation to continue, and I intend to do so.
Was it the hardest one that you learned, the language? Because there was a question from, oh my god, who was that?
Well, Kharem Tatarja is quite a difficult one for me, because although I had learned some Turkish, just a little bit, like 10 years back, and they are quite close, of course not the same, but there are some similarities in both grammar and vocabulary. It helped me a little, but generally other languages that I had learned before, they are European, like Romance or Germanic languages. And this is a Turkic language, so it's quite different. And also, as I said, studying in general and learning a new language in such circumstances is especially difficult for me, because the memory doesn't work very well like it used to be before. So it's rather difficult. And of course, Gaelic language, the Scottish traditional language, is a very difficult one. It's an entirely different language group, and so you need to really have a motivation to learn it, especially since very few people speak it in Scotland itself. But because of my hobby, I also enjoyed learning it, if just a little bit.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
You have a lot of interests, yeah,
That's
especially
true.
in languages. It's pretty cool. I admire people who have, who have that. What do you call that? Infinite energy inside them to learn new things.
It's not infinite, I'd say. It's rather limited. But yeah, I have this curiosity, and also having apps like Duolingo, for example, and others. It helps a lot. Actually, I raised my Spanish from 0 to some kind of intermediate level thanks to Duolingo, and thanks to, of course, also my Spanish friend who helped me with the motivation and with some language practice. And Duolingo also offers Gaelic and other languages which are endangered, so hopefully they will offer Crimean Tatar language as well.
Well, this would be amazing.
If they haven't yet, I need to check that actually.
Yeah, please do. What? I wanted to mention one more donation that we received 2 minutes ago. It's from Kenti Ludden, or yeah. Kenti's name is Paul, anyway. $23.95. He said, had to even out my last donation and get a couple more tickets. Kenti. Thank you very much, Kenti. So Kenti donated $6.05 on like 2 days ago. And now he donated $23.95 to exactly make it a $30.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Kenti. So we still need to raise $86, guys. Let's do it. Let's reach the goal and just go to sleep, being satisfied with ourselves, everyone. I will be, definitely. But you know what? I'm gonna be satisfied even without reaching the goal. You guys do so much for Ukraine. Thank you. Thank you. I thank you all the time, but sometimes I realize, some days I realize that we're doing a pretty good job. Like, sometimes we're struggling to close some big fundraisers in time, but comparing to overall results that we provide, it's nothing. And I just need, and I am focusing on positive things more, actually. Good work, Rick. Thank you, McPigeon. Thank you, everyone, guys. You are the salt of the earth people, as they say. So I wanted to direct that question from Denise. Mongol laughed at it. He noticed it in the chat himself, and he was like, "Look at this one."
Активно обсуждається тема англійської мови.
Mongol was asked, "How does your new job affect your fitness?"
Very bad. Сидишь на одном месте і нічого не делаешь.
You sit on one place and you do
І
nothing.
при цьому дуже сильно заморюєшся.
And you're getting pretty tired despite doing nothing physically.
І спиш нестабільно. Сон
And you don't sleep
15
stably.
хвилин,
Yeah.
Монгол на виліт.
Yeah, 15 minutes of sleep, and he is getting, their commander is getting on the radio or the brothers in arms and saying, Mongol, you need to fly out. So 15 minutes, then you fly out, you hit the target, and you fall asleep again.
Тихо,
And it's silent.
вилітів немає.
Listen
Поки є
up.
час.
While I have time, I just drop down into
І
sleep.
так
And then over and over
увесь
again.
тиждень, доба за добою, доба за добою.
The whole week, how do you call it? Day after day. Yeah, they don't have the word
В Кракені
doba.
я був гарної фізичної форми.
In Kraken, I was in a pretty good physical shape.
24/7 basically
Yeah, 24/7. Yeah, you mean like
during the week. Yeah.
what they're doing. So one more donation, $30 from
Yay.
Paul Deberitz. I have to match Canty. Awesome guests today. Tickets for me, please. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you for being my guests today. Кажу, що ви круті. Дякую, що моїми гостями сьогодні стали. Швидко час пролітає, правда? Time flies on these streams. Especially...
Більше 2 годин.
Да, вже скоро 2,5. And what? We still have to raise only $54, guys. It's super doable. Let's do it. And what? And let's find more questions, because I saw some, but it's so hard to keep up with all of them, you know? Whew, what's there? Що там?
Англійською не знаю, зато я Google переводчик.
Ти перекладаєш прямо там.
Та я ж прям туточки
Клас.
зразу. Чик-чик-чик.
Yeah, so he's translating the text with Google Translator right there. Mongol, you are doing great. I was hoping to bring some good mood, and it worked. Don't be so hard to you. You are a real hero, remember that. Каже Деніс, Монгол, ти класно справляєшся. Каже, я хотіла трошечки привнести хорошого настрою, і це спрацювало. Не будь занадто критичним до себе, ти справжній герой, пам'ятай про це. До речі, а тебе це дратує, коли героєм тебе називають, чи ні? Бо військові зазвичай кажуть, що типу, ми не герої, ми робимо свою роботу, а герої ті, хто полегли, правильно? У тебе така сама думка?
Ну, я не люблю, коли, да.
Це ж логічно.
У мене відношення до всього цього, що я не все зробив. Я не достоїн цього звання, бо я не все зробив. Я, скажімо, от я це бачу, а того, що бачив там інша людина на іншій ділянці фронту, цього я ще не бачив. А він уже це побачив.
Тобто завжди є
завжди є до чого стрімитися до
Прагнути.
чогось. Так. Я ось 15-й рік було, там вроді встиг побрати участь там в деяких двіжухах. Але все, у мене завжди було трошечки сорому, бо, скажімо, там в тому самому аеропорту я там не був, в тих самих там Дебальцево, Волновахах не був.
Теж перфекціоніст, коротше.
Тобто постійно у мене таке відношення до цього. Тому я взагалі не дуже люблю там розповідати, де, що і як. Хіба з побратимами. Завжди там згадуємо щось. Але так. Таке в мене відношення.
Але коли запитують, то ви охоче розповідаєте, чи...
Те, що маю за потрібне, розповім, якщо гарні співбесіди.
Якщо бачите щирий інтерес, так?
Так. Якщо це людина, як то кажуть, до цього відноситься так просто, то я взагалі ніде не був. Та і все.
Okay. Anastasia, will you please help me to translate this part? May I ask you? I was paying attention, but I think I'm drained and I need your help.
Давайте я так.
Тезово.
Це ні, от у мене вопрос. Вовк, до речі, завжди удивлявся.
Дивувався.
Завжди дивувався. Значить, коли ми з ним познайомились, вже там відучились, вже навіть на бойовці відбулися. І я ж там при певній зустрічі нашій там вечеряємо собі, розказую там, що у мене було, коли я був у АТО. Ну, які у мене ситуації бойові були і таке інше. Він каже, що ти мовчав, коли ти в Кракен прийшов, там, скажімо, що ти мовчав про свій певний бойовий досвід? Чого це я мовчав? Я сказав, що я там був, і я був на такій-то посаді. Ну, що мені розказувати це по хронології? Ну, я не мав мене такого, що я там, я пишаюсь, звісно, але
Не хвалитися.
точно, оце правильне слово, не хвалюся.
So Mongol, we had a long talk about being hero, and perception of it. Mongol says that he hates to brag. He can tell his experience. The
yes,
story.
about his experience to people who he sees that are genuinely interested and thankful and involved. But in general, he always can think of others who have done more or done something more difficult or something else, or in addition to what he has done. So he always has something to strive for and to, other role models, so to say, whom he may perceive as heroes, and so he doesn't like to be called a hero.
And
basically.
so he says, I was not. Yes, I was in some situations, but I was not in a situation like those guys on the other side of the front line, or like those guys there. And also, he said that his brother in arms, Wolf Roman, who we were mentioning today already, told him, "Why didn't you share your experience from 2015, 2016 in anti-terrorist operation?" In Kraken, like you came here and told us nothing, but you were in combat. You had some real situations, and he said, "Well, I'm just like that. He doesn't really like to brag with stuff. This is why, a very humble warrior."
Не впевнений на чому. Тобто зупиніться, хотів додати, що іноді це навпаки це потрібно розказувати. Тобто є ситуації, в яких потрібно комусь це розказати. Або з метою там повчальною якоюсь, або грубо повчальною. Бувають іноді нюанси різні в житті, що від цього є користь.
І для військових, і для цивільних, так?
Так, звісно. Але, просто є ситуації, коли потрібно, але є ситуації, коли цього не потребують, і ти цього не робиш, бо воно не потрібно.
So there are different situations, Mongol says, that there are some situations that you really need to tell the story because it will be, Anastasia, help me with the word here.
It can be useful for both the military and civilians depending on this particular situation.
Thank you.
And
what?
One of the users says, brag, Mongol, we want to hear it.
Leah be traveling.
Попросить хвалитися.
Хвалися, ми хочемо почути це. You guys, I would love to have this stream like 5 hours or something because we still have so much to talk about and we just cannot because the time is limited and we have to finish in 10 minutes.
We can repeat someday.
Yeah, we should do it. Mongol is
With
still
an
here.
option, we just started discussing, for example.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So, guys, still $54 to raise. Let's do it. $56. Sorry, $56 to raise. Last 9 minutes. I'm sure we can get there. What Rollers are saying? We love Mongol, Cougar Town says. Любимо Mongola. Where are you from? We are all from Ukraine. I'm from Makivka, Donetsk Oblast. I lived there in occupation since 2014 until 2019. And I repeat this all the time because some people might get curious how it was to live in occupation. Кажу, що повторюю це постійно, тому що декому може бути цікаво, як це жити в окупації. І це також розказував, але все одно, по-хорошому це треба постійно розказувати, повторювати, бо постійно там нові люди хтось пропускає, хтось просто новий, але важко про це постійно розказувати.
And that's a good segue to the story I wanted to share. Just a couple of days ago I attended a pre-premiere show of this documentary called Люди кольору свободи, which means people of the color of freedom.
Thank you for mentioning.
Yeah,
Almost forgot.
This documentary was created by a Ukrainian NGO, Tuteshny. It lasts for a couple of hours. Currently they are preparing English subs, and they will show this documentary on various festivals for international audiences, and also they offer screenings for closed audiences and groups, and so we can arrange the show either in Kiev or abroad. So the producers are in talks, and eventually this documentary will be published, I believe, on some YouTube channel or on some other social media for the public to see, and it will be in Ukrainian, but at least with the English subs, so I will be happy to share it. And the reason I'm mentioning this now is that this documentary is about Ukrainian resistance, about civilians who have been living on the occupied territories of Ukraine, in Crimea, in Donbass, and others which have been recently occupied by Russia after the start of the full-scale invasion, and they show the stories of people of civilians who had been in Russian captivity and then exchanged or released under various circumstances, or who actually managed to flee the occupied territories before they could have been captured by Russians, and those who still live under Russian occupation, and they keep supporting Ukraine, and they participate in the resistance movements like Zlamavka, which unites, yes, Рух спротиву, it's a general term for the resistance movement in the occupied territories, and there are various organizations and groups within this movement, like Zlamavka, which unites Ukrainian women in the occupied territories, Жовта стрічка, the yellow strip, which operates both in Crimea and in the east of Ukraine, and others as well. This documentary is a great reminder for both the Ukrainian society and our international supporters and friends and others who need to be aware that actually people in the occupied territories are citizens of Ukraine who are waiting for Ukraine to deoccupy those territories, and so these are not just lands which have been occupied by Russia. There are people there, they're Ukrainians, and most of them are actually waiting for Ukraine to regain these territories, and for them to be, for their homes to be liberated again, and for those people to stay at their homes, not fearing Russian persecution and sometimes captivity and even death. It's not just about lands, again, it's about our people there. And I will definitely share this documentary once I have the links or information how you can watch this. So I'll share it with Rick and on my social media as well.
Please do. Thank you. So guys, you can probably see that I'm exhausted. I just realized today that I did. This is my 4th stream this week. On Monday I was on Starsky's channel, and 3 streams of my own already. But what? I'm happy to do it. It's an interesting job, and I have very interesting guests. And here's the
постер.
the
Цього.
poster.
Єдине, що
of-
тут текст не видно, але я можу поділитися, і ви потім там розійшлете інформацію. Це з тієї виставки, яка була Лінія Умєрова, кримчанка. Ви ж чули,
Яка в
напевно, про
полоні
неї.
була.
Так, яка була в полоні.
2 роки.
Так.
Вона ж це вона поліціянткою була, да?
Ні.
А, ні, це
Їй було взагалі 16, коли
Точно.
Крим окупували.
точно.
Вона не хотіла. So I'm telling the story of Lenia Umerova, who was actually a schoolgirl when Russia occupied Crimea back in 2014, and she told her story in this documentary that someday some Russian officials came to the school and started just giving out Russian passports to students. And she and her friends pretended they had stomach ache and just ran away from the school. And then she made this decision to flee Crimea, and she moved to Kyiv, not to accept this forced Russian citizenship. And she has been living in Kyiv ever since. But about 2.5 or 3 years ago, her father got very sick, and she wanted to visit him in Crimea. But then Russian FSB took her captive and made some trumped up charges and tried to put her on trial. And she basically was in Russian captivity for more than 2 years, and eventually released in the big prisoner exchange in September last year. And she has been very active with her civic position since then.
Thank you.
I'll stop here because
Thank you for reminding. And we had a comment from McPigeon, very knowledgeable equals Anastasia. I totally agree with that. So guys, only 2 minutes left until the end of the stream, and we still have that question opened. Will we raise the last $56? Let's see. Only 1 minute left at this point, so let's see if it will happen. I wish everyone a quiet night and that everyone can sleep. Enjoy the evening, and I hope to see everyone in good spirit again. Slava Ukraini. Героям слава, Denise. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here today.
I like this comment.
These are my favorite guests so far. Really good one. A really
Thank
good
you.
one. Guys, I'm really happy you were able to talk to Mongol today and to Anastasia. And I saw just Jimmy saying there's always a Sunday option. The problem is on Sunday, why I don't usually invite people who don't speak English on Sunday, because it's really hard to concentrate on so many things on Sunday. I have to be the host of the show, the translator, and working on the spreadsheet. At least on these streams, I don't have to work on the spreadsheet. So on Sunday, it's like super hard work. So I try to invite people who speak Ukrainian to midweek streams. But it's just my limitations, the limits I have. Rick.
Пробувати чат GPT. Може поможе.
Може ти будеш озвучувати. Я тільки що... Ви тільки що відправили, так? Да? Ні, ви не зрозуміли. Я тільки що сканував, нічого не було. Ви тільки що відправили?
Окей.
Да, тут...
Я собі вже оплатила.
Да, це мені треба платити. Yeah, guys, I need to pay for that matcha with orange juice. Mongol, before we finish, I want to ask you, how do you like this experience? Being on the stream, what do you think? Як тобі тут сьогодні бути на цьому стрімі? І взагалі, що ти думаєш?
Незвично, але це потрібно, і дай Бог, щоб таких стрімів було побільше.
Це правда.
Цікавих, і дуже корисних.
I second that. Same here.
So Mongol says that, well, it's незвично, як? Unusual for me, but I wish there would be more such streams, and there would be that are interesting and useful. Tuna just sent $26, saying, "Come on, guys!" So, guys, only $30. One more $30 donation, and we can go. We can go back to our lives. Mongol, how many kids do you have? Скільки дітей в тебе?
3.
3 kids. That's really
І 1 онук.
cool. And one, wow.
Grandson.
How old are you, Mongol?
Я теж мала це запитання одразу.
Скільки тобі?
40.
40 years
Wow.
old. And he already has a grandson. That's who he's fighting for, guys. For his children and his grandson.
Ще раз.
Кажу,
За кого ти
за кого
воюєш?
ти воюєш?
Ну звісно, я в 15-му році йшов воювати, вони було вже 3 неповнолітніх дітей. Наразі у мене 2 неповнолітніх, донька повнолітня.
In 2015, when I went to fight, I already had 2. Двоє чи троє? Скільки дітей було тоді?
Three underage.
3 underage children. Oh wow, Andreas donated $30
Yay.
for Tuna. Thank you so much, Andreas. We reached the $700 goal. Good job, guys. Thank you so much for everything you do for Ukraine. Thank you for also donating to the NAFOR truck campaign. Let me actually check if we have maybe a few more donations there. This could be one more donation at least. It's really cool. So I need to pay for my matcha.
На сьогодні є якийсь певний у тебе типу цей, да?
Так, мета. Я спочатку поставив $500, а потім підняв до 700, коли ми швиденько зібрали 500. І оце до 700 ми вже так довго йшли, і під кінець тільки прийшли.
Виконалось
Да,
вже?
да, все.
Ну, я ще скину лінк на стрім. Ну, це ж запис буде, правильно?
Да.
Своїм друзям, може, ще будуть бажаючі.
Дуже дякую. So, guys, we would like to thank you all for being here. Mongol, what message do you have for the guys before we leave? Яке у тебе послання є до наших друзів
Запитання завжди лякає, знаєш, воно так звучить.
перед тим послання, the message. Ну, просто, знаєш, типу там...
Заклик. Власне.
До наших друзів
Аудиторії.
за кордоном?
Да, хто нас дивиться зараз. For those who are watching us, what message do you have? If you have it, якщо воно у тебе є, це послання.
Будьте добрими, будьте чемними і не робіть помилок оцих засранців.
Be kind, be polite, and don't make the mistakes of those shitheads. We can call them like that. Meaning Russians?
Так.
Moscovians. Yeah.
І...
Кацапс.
Так. Кацапс.
Yeah.
This
Don't
is
repeat the
Ukrainian
mistake.
І хай бережуть себе і
Please,
своїх сусідів.
please stay safe and also keep your neighbors safe. That's a good idea. Thank you, Mongol. That's a pretty powerful message, in my opinion. Anastasia, your turn.
Yeah, I can add that on the first day of the full-scale Russian invasion, I posted on LinkedIn this poster in the colors of Ukrainian flag with this famous saying, British saying, modified to Ukrainian realities, and which reads, "Keep calm and support Ukraine." So it is still valid. So please keep supporting Ukraine. We are trying to do our best to support our defenders right here, working, paying taxes, donating, showing our engaging in activism and supporting various initiatives to help Ukraine go on and overcome our enemy, which tries to destroy us. So we will defeat them, definitely, but with your help we will do it sooner and with hopefully fewer casualties and losses.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
so
a great
thank you very
word.
much
Thank
for
you.
being with us and supporting us.
Thank you guys. I also would love to respond to a message I see in the chat, but I just cannot keep the stream going longer. It's already 6 minutes overdue, so let's not let the guys who work here stay here longer. So let's do it, guys. Let's finish. Thank you so much for everything you do for us Ukrainians. Live long, prosper, and donate. And here we have Trezub, the Ukrainian coat of arms, the trident. Thank you, Mongol, for your service from all my community. I saw some messages saying that, and I want to join it. Thank you, guys. Love you all, and see you on Sunday. No, on Saturday on Aziza's channel. There's going to be a concert that she's going to hear.
Я хотів ще сказати наостанок.
Давай.
Друзі, дуже велика подяка Ріку за Ukrainian, за його необхідну, важливу і за його необхідну і дуже важливу справу. І дуже добру справу. Тому Рік.
I should translate this.
Yeah, thank you.
Mongol says a huge thank you to Rick the Ukrainian for his very important and useful work he's doing. Останнє, напевно.
За його справу.
Дякую, друже.
So basically, keep watching and supporting.
Дякую за подяку. Thank you for thanking me. Yeah, guys, we can finish. Thank you so much. We love you all, and we go rest. You stay safe. Bye. We love you.